Hey guys, this is the Lone Knight back again, and yeah, I know it's been quite a while since I've posted anything, and yeah, and that is usually due to the fact that I've been dealing with been having different work schedules a lot, and as well as having different appointments and meetings of such, and yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of that, and I do apologize for keeping you away so long. In fact, I have actually been working on some other videos, but I didn't like how they turned out, and because of that, I didn't get the chance to post them. Like for instance, I was supposed to do. I was gonna do a video on Akira Toriyama after I found out about his passing, and I would say that my mind wasn't fully onto what happened or about what happened with Akira Toriyama to the point where I couldn't come up with anything to say about what, because I mean, yes, he is responsible for creating Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball was the only anime um, I was ever willing to spend my time on, and I own for that. Um, but I still do want to do a video on him at some point. I mean, at least I wouldn't say much of it, but I would say like at least at least sort of my history with Dragon Ball, what kind of got me into it in some form or another, and to appreciate the what he was able to deliver in that in what he created. So yeah, I'm still working on it. There's also another video I was also planning on doing, but I'm doing in the form of a script, because if you haven't seen my video, you know most of them aren't fully script related. I stutter a lot. In fact, I'm stuttering as we speak right now. But I do want to do this video, and I do plan on doing scripted videos anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna see how that one turns out. But anyway, this is but I figured, you know what, I'm gonna do this one, and regardless of how it turns out, I'm still gonna do it, because especially since this is big news that it has recently been happening. I've actually done this for quite almost a week at this point. But although I did do some editing, and there are moments where my tones would change if you listen to the if you continue on watching. But yeah, that's all I have to do. That's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, and just remember, if you like this content, and as well as some of my other videos, leave a like, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. So yeah, without further ado, this is my latest video. Yeah, so enjoy. Finally. So there is just so much going on right now that I really have to talk about this. I cannot do this without discussing it, because this is something that I've been wanting for quite a while, if not years, to be exact. And now, if you could tell by the thumbnail, you could understand what I mean when I say this. Now, I was going to do this when I found out what just recently happened with the whole Sonic 3 thing, but when I found out the other announcement, I knew I had to do this, because this is something that I've been wanting for so long now. This is something that many fans have been wanting for so long. I mean, this is huge in a big way. Now, there is some concerns, and I'll admit that, based on, especially considering who is going to be involved in it. But aside from that, this is something I and many hardcore fans have been wanting to see for quite a while. Many, and that is the fact that we are going to be receiving a live action R-rated TMNT movie. Now, this particular TMNT movie is based on a welly beloved popular comic series called The New Ronin. I haven't read much of it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I do want to read it myself. I should mention that the next point I'm trying to make here is stuff that most hardcore Ninja Turtles fans are already aware of. And if you are one of those fans, I recommend you skip to this time skip right there and watch the rest as I go along. This is mostly for the casuals or for the uninitiated who don't know the full scope. So yeah, you can skip to this time skip and watch the rest as I go along. Because you see, I am a fan of the Ninja Turtles, but I am a fan of the much more grounded, much darker, more mature take on these characters. Because unfortunately, because a lot of the time, most people view the Ninja Turtles as, this silly kids thing that was made to sell toys, that's used as a marketing push. And then, when the movies came out, they were usually there to sell the IP, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And to a point, I myself, thought that that Ninja Turtles originally started out as a cartoon, in a very similar fashion to a lot of these other properties that came out at the time, like Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, etc. But it wasn't until somewhere in the late 2000s where I discovered the roots of the inception of where the franchise actually started, which was back in 1984, where a comic was published by Mirage Studios, created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, the original creators of the Turtles, and that comic was the complete opposite of what the original 1987 show was. It was a lot darker, as mentioned, and the Turtles, despite the fact that it's telling a story about these four mutated reptiles being trained by a mutated rat, it was a story that took itself more seriously. It was a parody of sorts, yes, parodying some of the most popular comics at the time, but the comic itself was still taking itself extremely seriously. And then the cartoon came about when they wanted to make it appeal to a mainstream audience. Now, unfortunately, because of that popularity of the cartoon, we barely get to see that original source of what the Ninja Turtles came out as from the general public. The closest we got was, of course, the original 1990s live action film. And it's a film I'm going to defend to the very day I die, because I think that movie is a textbook example of a movie that has more going for it than it is given credit for. And that's because it took the comics as its blueprint and inspiration. And with that, they were able to naturally craft a human story with these characters. Again, we're talking about four mutated turtles and a rat. But yet, because of using the comics as that blueprint, they were able to naturally tell a real human story that's more heartfelt. There was a lot of passion put into that movie, and unfortunately, critics at the time did not realize it. They thought it was a dark and violent movie for kids. And it's a shame that because of that reception, whenever they made a movie, including sequels to that movie, it was always trying to cater to a lighter tone. Granted, there were some elements of the cartoon that were thrown in the original movie, but most of its tone, the direction, the mood, the atmosphere, it was very much inspired by the comics. And this was something that I and many fans of that original vision have been craving for a while now, for a long time. And the closest thing we've gotten to that was the 2007 animated movie, which has been very obscured, and to be fair, is not that great as it has many issues, mostly with its plot and its villains and such. So yeah, so it's kind of frustrating to see that that's what how that the Ninja Turtles had never gone back to that, at least in mainstream, because we were able to get something like the IDW comics, and of course the new Ronin, the last Ronin, which apparently is going to be adapted into a film. And as someone who's always preferred a more serious take on these characters, this was a dream come true of mine. That is until I found out who's going to be involved in it. Because Walter Hamada, the guy who pretty much helped destroy the DCEU, is going to be an executive producer. So as much as I am this excited about this movie getting made, I do have my trepidations. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this one. Because, again, long time coming, I tell you. But let's end this on a high note, and pretty much the reason as to why I decided to make this video in the first place. So, not too long ago, we just found out that Keanu Reeves is actually officially going to be announced as Shadow the Hedgehog in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And what else can I say? I mean, this is a match made in heaven, for Christ's sake. I mean, you're just casting Shadow the Hedgehog as Shadow the Hedgehog. And as somebody who is a fan of the John Wick movies, this is just inspired casting. Now, I know that there has been rumors of the casting decision of Hayden Christensen as Shadow the Hedgehog, which, and seeing a lot of fan edits of hearing, Anakin Skywalker and putting Shadow's image in there, I would say, yeah, that sounds like a good choice, especially when you compare it to David Humphrey's take from Sonic Adventure 2. I would say yeah. And if Paramount were gonna go along with that, that sounds great. But honestly, when I found out Shadow, my mind was always thinking of Keanu Reeves, with Christian Bale and Robert, I wouldn't say Robert Pattinson, but with Christian Bale as my as like a number 2 choice. But yeah, Keanu Reeves, like I said, I feel like casting Keanu Reeves as Shadow is basically Shadow being cast as Shadow. Especially not even not they're not playing Adventure 2. But seeing like cut scenes of, and then the storyline of how it is, yeah, I mean that's great casting choices. I think I think they're spot on with that. Some say that they may not be true, but I don't know. Like a lot of people saying, that this is going to be the case. Like Keanu Reeves is Shadow the Hedgehog, and I could not be any more happier. I mean, it was enough to hear that Jim Carrey was coming back for the 3rd time as Dr. Robotnik, making this the only film franchise where he reprised his role twice in terms get 2 sequels, considering that he's not a sequel guy, with the exception, of course, Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber, but that's just the only sequels of each particular franchise. He reprised his role as his character. There was also the fact that they cast 6 new actors, undisclosed roles, and with Kristen Ritter leading it, I assumed that she was probably going to be cast as Rouge the Bat, but it turns out she's going to be another throwaway human character that's original for the film, which I'm all honestly not a big fan of, and it did in a way affect my investment in the movie. But you know what? Hearing that Keanu Reeves is going to be Shadow the Hedgehog is enough for me to regain some of my investment I have for the movie. Because yeah, this is great news all around. I do think that they were spot on. I mean, there are many people who always thought that this was going to be the case anyway, and yeah, this is a great choice. Keanu Reeves, perfect pick. Again, match made in heaven, for real, man. Like this, yeah, this is good. Yeah, these are very much good news all around. I would like to say that I am a bit more excited for the Turtles than I am for Sonic, because I'm more of a Turtles fan than a Sonic fan. But because of some of my concerns I have, because of who's going to be executive producer here, I am a little bit more cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, I'm just glad that they're taking that risk again, because like I said, as a Turtles fan, I would have preferred if they would have just went back to that original roots from what they were originally created to be in the first place. But for Sonic 3, I am definitely excited just for Keanu Reeves' casting as Shadow alone. If there's one thing that the Sonic movies does very well, is that they know the right actor to voice these types of characters. And, yeah, I am definitely excited for that one. So, anyway, yeah, that's all I got for today. Take care. So anyway, that's it for this video. Again, I hope you enjoy, and if you want more content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So yeah, I'll try to put more videos at least consistently as I can. Hope you all enjoy this video, and then take care.